Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me again today. Been playing around again this week, that's what I do, and I came up with a wallet or a purse or a clutch, depending on where you're from as to what it's called. Very plain on the outside. It's to tuck inside the front cover of a journal or as a journal on its own. What I've made is an actual wallet. So when we open it, we've got our little address label with acetate. You undo this side, we've got our little picture, because we always have a picture in our wallet. Little card holders, just another little flippy card holder. More card holders here. Little pocket for notes, be them money or notes. Pop that back in if I can. That's why. Like so. Flip it over. You've got more card holders. Then you've got long card holders. And then we've got a pocket. So I've popped in old invoices, old checks, things like that. So it can be on its own, or it can go into a journal with all your bits and pieces. So there's lots of little tuck spots, lots of areas that you can just have little journal cards. As you can see, I've got lots more. So all up, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 if you count that one, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 little pockets or tucks or anything else. But it all comes out like a little purse, which is why I've got it fairly simple on the front. You could stitch around all of this as well, like they usually do. You could put a closure in, a little magnetic closure in here, or just have it as it is. So today I thought we'd do this. It was really very simple to do. Did my standard, got my A4 copy paper and worked out vaguely my size and what I wanted. Even though I've still got all of this in it, it's still fairly narrow. So it's not going to take up a great deal of bulk in your journals if you actually want it to sit in your journals, not just as a journal on its own as such. Nice and easy, as I said before, done out of A4 size paper. I'm using double-sided scrapbooking paper because I've just got so much of it that I'm trying to use it up and use it up. What we want size-wise to start with is 7 inches wide, round about 11 inches in length, which is your standard A4 copy paper is about 8 1/4 by 11 1/2. So it'll fit out of that one, not a problem. So first things first, and I've got some paper here to do my next lots with. So this is my base for this one. So I've already cut it 7 inches, not that one. This one. 7 inches, and I'm down to about 11 inches ready to do. So this is my inside, but I'm going to cover it with coffee dyed paper like I did with this one. So I'm just going to set this one to the side. So with a scoring board, there's a little bit of scoring, a little bit of sewing, but the main part of it is so easy. If I move that down to there, so our score lines, we want at 3 7/8, which is about there. So I think, so that's our first score line is down here. So 3 7/8, round about. So 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 3/4, 3 7/8. Straight down. Okay, and then we want that 3 7/8 again. So I'm just going to move that over to the 4 because it makes it a little bit easier. So 1, 2, 3, 7/8 is going to be here. And then I want 1/8 of an inch, just so that it's got that top bulk, which is here. So you can see I've got the double row here so that it sits over this all. Okay, that's your scoring. Set that back down here. So, folding that one up on its score line. Folding this one on its score line. So we've got the 2 score lines for this one. We'll fold one, give it a good crease, and then we'll fold the other one and give that a good crease as well. Right, so we've got our 2 which will sit at the top. So go in here, that'll go in there like that. Now, you can leave this straight if you like. You can put a decorative border on it. I found it was just as easy with a semicircle. Oh, actually, what I'm going to do first is cover it. I think it might be easier this time. So I'm just going to pop and then I can cut the whole thing as one. I think that might be just a little bit easier. So I'll just grab a piece of scrap to sit under there, like so. And we'll just glue all this down. So just with your glue stick, it's my top. And if you need to do it in sections, do it in sections. Depending on the heat of the day, will depend on whether all this is going to stick in one gluing. So what I'll do is section it, go above that first crease, pop this one on. This is where you find out if your copy paper is straight or not. Go a little bit over. Just take it over a little bit all the way along. Grab an old store card, just give it a really good squish down. All right, lifting that back up. I'll peel that away a little bit. Go for my next section. Just pick the glue of your choice. It can be any, but I find the glue sticks work the best when I'm doing something like this because I can peel it off if need be and go again. All right, back with my card, just put it there. Just to make it nice and flat, and it gives it, I use the copy paper for 2 reasons. 1, I love coffee dyed paper, and 2, it's thin, so it doesn't add too much bulk to my journal, or in this case to this little wallet. I didn't want it too thick, but I didn't want, most times when I'm using a scrapbook paper, I love one side, but the other side is not me. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the other side of this one, but not for what I'm doing. So for me, I've just covered it. What did I do with my card? There. I'll cover it with this, which gives it that nice plain base on the inside. It could be a decorative piece. It could be a coffee dyed and stamped piece. It's up to you. Right, I'll turn that over. Right, so I have a little bit of trimming around that. There's my score lines. They will still be there. If I can fold that up and then crease them as I go. Give it a really good push on the edges. Might find you've been a little bit too long between stages and you might need to pop a little bit more glue in there. So now we've got this one, which is our double fold. Make sure I'm on that one. There's one of them. Now we'll do the other one. The folds already, if you find you're having trouble, put it back in your scoreboard and just rescore them. All right, fold that over like that. And now I've got my double fold at the top, and this is all crooked. Where have I gone wrong? There, that one. I want that one. That's the one I wanted. Right, now I've got the right double fold. As I said before, if you need to, put it back in your scoreboard. That looks better, doesn't it? Yep. Right. So there's my lines. I will trim around this now. You could use your trimmer. You could use a knife. I find for something just quick and easy, and I've got a line to follow, I'm just going to use my scissors, which will just, it's thickened it up a little bit, given it a bit more of a base, but without going too bulky. So straight down these ones as well. And I'm going to ink around a little bit of this. And I know a lot of you don't like to see the inking, but it's also there for a couple of reasons, especially when I'm doing this, because I want to sew using the inside, from the inside. And if I've got those lines slightly inked, I can see where they are better. It's either that or drawing a pencil line around them. All right, so that all sits in lovely, and at this stage, it's straight. Put that in the bin. All right, so I want to give this a little bit of a decorative edge. What I'm going to do first is just put a little bit of a line on those creased areas, and then I can see exactly where they are. So going from that one, going to that one, and I'm just lightly rubbing it across so you can see where I've now got them. Go down the side. I'll go as quick as I can, I promise. Do that one and grunge it up. I want it to look as though it's a used purse, that I haven't just purchased it. Don't know about you, but mine get very grubby, forever being cleaned. Okay, so I'm going to leave this section. We'll do the inside so we can see where each of those lines are. And then I'll need to do those inside creases as well, because that's where I want to sew down here. And if they're, so I'm just going to lightly do that. And again, just very lightly rub that along there. So now I can see where that crease line is. Don't need to worry about that one just yet. Do that crease line, and then I'll see if I can achieve that one as well. I'll all just recrease back. Right, now I've got my crease lines all inked. Any circle will do. Get yourself a dinner plate, bread and butter plate, etc. What you want to do is, and I've got mine here, many years ago Fiskars brought out these. You'll find I quite often use them. So this is a, I don't even know what size this one is, 7¼ inch circle. But any bread and butter plate, dinner plate, etc., just run it up until you're in line with your top crease. Okay, hang on to it, draw your circle around it, and then you can trim that out. Again, use your big scissors. I find if I'm trimming circles, semicircles or anything like that, the big scissors work better because you're not having to open and close them each time, and that's what will give you wobbles. So what's happening is my scissors are just slowly closing and I'm turning my paper with my left hand. It'll still be a little bit wonky because that's life and that's circles, but, and again, that's probably why I ink as well, because that'll take away the look of wobbliness. Is that a word? Right, being very good. I'm putting that in the bin. So now I have my basic shape. Now I'm thinking that this one is a little bit high. Right, so I'll just recrease that. And I'm actually going to trim a little bit off that one. You'd always trim a little bit more off each time, and I only want just a little bit, just so it sits in there a little bit better. So you can see now it comes just under that crease line. Okay, lovely doovely. Right, so that one, we've recut this, so that'll need a little bit of oomph on it. And now around our outside closure. See, I use my walnut stone all the time. It's starting to go dry again, and I haven't had it for that long. Not dry, just empty. Right, that in the bin. Right, so there's the base to my wallet. I'll put that one away. We don't need that one anymore. So now what we want to do is all our bits and pieces on the inside. So with the original one, spit it out, Kylie. I've got these ones, and I've got this little pocket. What I'm going to do is get this little pocket ready, and then we'll actually attach these, and then it's just a matter of popping in your little card slots. It's so easy. Once you've got this bit done, it is so easy. Right, so let's have a look. See, I've already cut some out to make it a little bit quicker. I want this one in here, like so, and I'm going to pop that one down here, like that, because I love this paper. So this one's going to be my pocket one. What I want is to make my little gussets on the side. And again, I'm going to use some coffee dyed paper. I want about 1 3/4. I did about 1.5 inches out on this one, and it wasn't quite enough. I also put it in the wrong way. So I added 1/4 inch just to give myself a little bit extra room. So I'm going to trim this down at 1 3/4. But your gusset could be anywhere or any size you want. If you want a wider one, as in a bigger gusset, then by all means, you can make that any size you like. The whole wallet can be made at any size you like. This is the size I made. So I'm just giving you the measurements for this one. So all I've done is folded that in half, and then I can trim them down from that. Now, with your gussets, so we're just going to, now, when you coffee dye paper, with me, I don't know if everybody's the same, but with mine, it always comes out darker on one side and lighter on the other. I love the darker side. Love the darker side. So you'll see with this one, it is a slight bit different, but I've done my darker side here, my lighter side on the inside. You can actually just see that. Okay, so for us to do the same thing, if you want to do that darker side up, fold it in half lengthwise. I'll try not to stick my big buff head in the camera. Turn it around. Fold this one over on itself again. So all you're doing is a little concertina fold. Give it a good crease. Back to this side. Do the same thing again. And then what you've got is just a little concertina thing. Okay, so when this goes into your, it'll go this way, and I'll trim that edge off, but always make them a little bit longer, and then I can trim as I go. So that's one. Same thing, darker side up. Maybe I need stronger glasses. I hope that's in shot. Yep, turning it round. This just works easier for me if I keep turning it around, but if you can do it the other way, by all means, do it that way. Turn him over, refold it back on itself. Try and do it straight. Just makes things a little bit easier in the long run. All right. Okay, so for me, that will be my inside, that will be my outside, and I'm going down like that. So I'm going to adhere one lot to this now so that they're sitting there ready to go, and I'm just going to use my double-sided tape. Nice and quick and easy, and then when I'm attaching it, it's nice and quick and easy as well. Now my tape is slightly larger than my strip, but that's fine because I'll just fold it back on itself. So all I've done is folded that back out so that I've got a line to run my tape down to, because what I want to make sure is that it's right against that fold. Okay, trim that off. Give that a good push. Make sure it's really on there. Peeling your backing off, if you can get it off on one side. There we go. Right, so you can see that it's coming over a little bit on that. It's double-sided tape. It's really, really thin. So just fold it back on itself. You could trim it off with your scissors, but I find all you really end up with is sticky scissors. And we do enough with our glue and all the rest with our scissors to want to do even more. Okay, so this one's going to go down here. Doesn't have an up and a down, does it? That's technically down, so we'll go that way. So with the folds, the two folds heading out, sitting it right at the edge and running it down the side of that. Okay, so what you've got is that. You can trim this bit off now that you've got it at the right length. See what I mean about glue and double-sided tape and scissors and all the rest? So doing the same with the other side, and that one with your two folds on the outer edge down here. So exactly the same with your double-sided tape. Fold that bit out so that I've got a line to run it down along. I'll try not to make this too long, this video. And really it is just this basic bit to start with, and then after that the decorating is very, very easy. But we'll see how we go. I'll try not to talk at a million miles an hour as well. Deep breath every now and again. So folding that back over again. like so. And our 2 folds will be on the outside edge. And straight down again. Pop him in. And trim your excess off down the bottom. Now you can always put in your little thumb holes and all the rest. I didn't with this because I went and got my wallet out and looked at my wallet and I thought, nah, it just tries to make me get everything out on my own. It doesn't give me little thumb holes, but if you want thumb holes, by all means. So this is just going to sit in here like so. It's going to be up a little bit and I'll show you why now, because we're not going to attach it, we've just got it ready. What I want, if we go back to our original one, are these. Okay, what this is piece of cardstock again, folded in half to give me the size that I want, and then it's sewn down here, and then I glue my edges. So, but I want those sewn pieces all in before I actually adhere this. So you can see I've lifted it up a little bit. So that's what we're going to do now. So I want this piece to be round about, because I don't want it to be the full size up. So it's round about 3.5, give or take. So what we're looking at is about 7 inches in total in length that we will fold over. So I'm going to trim off. It's 12 inches now, so I will trim off 5 inches, which leaves us with 7, because my little trimmer only goes to 6, like so. And that will fold in on itself, like that. That's fairly narrow, Kylie. Oh well, this one's a bit different. So back to my scoreboard, which I put somewhere. And I'll just score dead smack in the centre of it. So if that's 7, we're looking at 3.5. This is all in inches, of course. Sit that down now. And this is going to... Well, that's not right, is it? What did I do there? That wasn't 3.5. Did anybody pick that up? 3.25. We'll change. We'll change. Let's have a look. Let's do some of that for my foldy one then. All right. Because we can change. Whenever we want to, we can change. That's fine. So we want it, what? About 7 by 7. And I think I actually want it about 7 by 7.5. Make it a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to trim this section out. So, see? No mistakes. We'll just replay. That's easy. Got that by there. Right, we'll go down that way. So I'll take 7 inches off there. And I use my knife. Knife and ruler. I know it would be quicker and easier if I had a trimmer. And I could actually see my marks. There. There's my other mark. Oh, there it is. That's my lights. 7 there and there. Knife. That one. And we're going to go 7.5 across here, aren't we? So down to there. They always say the best laid plans, mice and men and all the rest. That's all right. It's a good thing I like this paper. Because I cleaned up and I don't have anything else floating around. Right, as you were, problem solved. All right, back to this. So, 7.5 that way. Yep. And we're going to go 3.25, aren't we? Make sure I'm at that now. That's 3.25. That doesn't look right. It's 3.75. I'm doing well. Doing real well. Right. That one. There you go. Good thing it'll have other stuff on it. Right. That's that. I'm just going to do the same in here because I need to follow this line. You won't see this line, but I need to follow this line for sewing. Okay, that's my outer edge. And I want a little one to make my tiny little tag. And so we'll now do it out of this paper as well, maybe. No, let's go with the other one that we had sitting there. Right, let's use that we killed. And I might even use that bit. So let's trim down that bit where we'd scored it. Doesn't have to be a perfect size. That will work, won't it? Yep. So much better without measurements. Right, there's our other one. Who needs a scoreboard? Right, so we've now got 2. I'm just going to do the same to that one because I want... That's my problem. I'm using them wrong. There we go. Right, I just need that line so that I can see where I'm going when I'm sewing. I can always trim this narrower or shorter if I want it. Right, so from here, this one I'm going to sew on here. And I'm actually going to make that just a little bit shorter. So it doesn't, if my sewing is wonky, it's not going to come out. So it can be as small as you like. Right, let's have a look now. Yep, that gives me a little bit of leeway, top and bottom. Thinking I'd like a little bit more. Just little bits at a time. Yep, like so. I'm going to have this one in here. There, that one will be down there. And I want a little bit more off the end. I don't want it as big as that, so I'm going to sit in here, that one's going to sit in there, which shows that one. Lovely. And then that one will sit in here as well. Right. So these ones I'm actually going to sew down, straight down here. And this one, once he's in, just to that side of the score line. And then that one will be sewn just down there. Same thing, which will then adhere them to this. And I want paper clips for that just to hold him in place while I'm going. If I set that like that, I'm just the other side of that score line, which gives room for the both of them to go in. Now I need to open it out. Just to hold it in place while I'm sewing. Now I've got my sewing machine right beside me to my right, but unfortunately I can't take you with me. So just bear with me, and I'll sit this on and I will stitch with a straight stitch straight down there. So that's why I've got that crease actually inked so that I can see it when I'm running my sewing machine down. So almost done with this one. Take an extra one and up. Scissors. Alright, so I've just sewn straight down there, which puts me right or close to my crease on there. So now I'm going to sew this one, and this one will sit in here like that. Anywhere you like. It can be up there, it can be down there. I'm just going to take those out again. Then I can tie off my threads. So anywhere I like down there. I'm just going to run the sewing machine down that, so it's away a little bit from the other one, but fairly close, if that makes sense. Because I don't want to catch the other one in it. Hopefully. I think my bottom tension needs fixing. Right, so now I've got that pocket and I've got that pocket, and I will just glue those straight through. I need to tie them off. I always tie my threads off, and that's just years of actual sewing. So even though the machines these days do that back stitch and all the rest, it's just one of those things I can't help myself with. So I always tie them off. I'll just pull it through, use my awl to pick up the other stitch and tie them off. Just do a double knot in there. They're not going to go anywhere. It's in a journal with paper, Kylie. But, you know, it's just one of those things. I am what I am. And that one. Now, as I said before, if you wanted to, you could stitch around the whole of your journal. It would look very, very nice. But I knew that I'd be doing this on camera, and I wanted to limit the amount of times that I was heading back over to the sewing machine. So, got it. What are you doing? It's at these times I realise that I need stronger glasses. That one's not gonna. Take it through that way. Then it should come out. There it is. Right, tie that one. And again, you could put your thumb hole in this one as well. It's up to you. Right, so we have that, we have that. These ones I'm going to now adhere. If your sewing is off, like mine, it might not come out perfectly straight. Do it as much as you can and then trim them up. So just your liquid glue now. And again, I didn't fill this, so we'll see how far we go. And my cloth. Cloth. Got time for another one again. Just going to set that under there. Give that a good push, and then if anything leaks out, it's going to go onto my cloth and not my paper underneath. cheesecloth. Right, same with this one. That one's pretty good. So straight up here. So you can see where I started to crease that before. You really can't see it on this side, and it's going to have other stuff over it as well anyway. So going straight up. Down this one. Folding him over. Again, I don't want that to go on to that one. Give it a good push. And then I can straighten these up. And I can straighten them up with my knife, my scissors. And I might put some paper clips on there while he's drying, I think. Oh, we do our other bit. Like so. Right. So, while we're waiting for that, we can pop this one on. We've already done him, if we can find him. There he is there. We'll pop our double-sided tape on this bit. Put my glue away there. So I want my glue down this bit. Trim that off. And my glue on this one as well. Because it's easier while it's sitting on the table. And I can get my hands around it. Trim him off. Time to clear up all the mess that's sitting on my side of the table here. Just put those in the bin. Give me a little bit more room. Right. Alright. So this one we can adhere straight away. Let's do this one because I'm a righty. And again, I can just fold that bit over. Right, sit it down like so. And I'm just going to stick in the one side to start with and hope that I'm straight. So I've left my backing on that one, so it's not sticky or anything else. Like so. Look at that. And that means that I can flip this back over. And then I can run my glue across the bottom and in my little gussets. And then when I put it all in, this will all be sitting in like that. And it'll just stick in like that with luck. So I'll take my backing off this one. Give him a good push first, actually. Right. Fold that bit over. Like so. And then I'll get my glue out. I'm just going to turn that all the way around. So what I want to do is glue the bottom part of my gusset like so, and then I want to run all the way across the bottom here. Yeah, I need to fill this glue up. I'm sure I said that last week too. It's just too much going on. Way too much going on. Too many other things I want to do. All right. flipping that over, flipping that over, straightening that up, like so. Give that a good push, let it dry. And I'll just pop that right at the start, which will hold the glue in the gusset part and across the bottom a little bit. What would I do without paper clips? I'll tell you. All right, I'll move those to the side. So we've now got a little pocket. We've got this pocket, and we've got that pocket that's not glued in. Did I glue it? Bit more. And maybe another paper clip. Oh, I like paper clips. Like so. All right, while I'm waiting for those, let's start this bit. So, again, I've cut some of this already, and this is going to sit in here. Like so, and then we can make our little card holders and our little photo holder. So this is this section in here. So I like to have a base that they can all go on anyway, and I can either work on it on there or work on it on its own, and it's easier to work on it on its own. So I want a little photo holder, and the easiest way to do those is grab a scrap of that again. I've got lots of it sitting around. I'm going to use that for something else because I like that. So I've got these, I've got this. I just want a little square out of that, and I want a frame. So with a little piece of acetate, so I've just got a little container here with offcuts of acetate, and I can work out what size I want my little photo holder. It doesn't have to be big, it can be any size you like. I don't know, this was just an offcut as well, so I've done that one. It's bigger than that. Let's go the same size for you so that you can see. So it's round about, big scissors, right there. It's about that. By that, and I'll give you a measurement. How's that? Might even straighten it up. It is round about 3 1/8 by 2. So let's make it 3 by 2. What do you reckon? Yeah, that is so not straight. So if I want to go 3, there's got to be a straight part on there somewhere. Got that one. By 3. 3 by 2. 2 by 3, 3 by 2. Okay, that's my little acetate piece. So I'm going to need a frame that's about that size. So that one will work a treat. Okay, now the easiest, because I don't want this on it. Don't want that. All right, that's the size of my acetate. And what I'm actually going to do is just cover the whole thing. So I can cut this out a little bit larger, and I don't know if you can see that pencil line. That's the size of my acetate. What I need to do is cut that with as a frame. When I find my little ruler, here we go. So I want a frame on that, about that wide. Now you can do this with your trimmer and make it lovely you can just freehand it, which is what I'm doing here, which is probably not the best solution, but it is what I do. You can get dies, so you'll get rectangular or square dies that will give you layered ones, which will give you that layered look, and we'll cut both of them together so that you get your little frame. Right, so that's that. I now cut out, it's easier to cut it out of the bigger piece first of all, and then go back and cut it out, I find anyway. And down there. All right, there's my little frame. I can rub out some of my pencil lines. Again, you can always do it on the back of your paper, which means you don't need to rub out your pencil lines. I tend to do that so I don't have to rub out my pencil lines, because it covers all those pencil lines anyway. All right. And I want to do just inside there, highlight where they are, and also to get rid of that white core of the cardstock. And that'll sit over there like that. And I just use double-sided tape. I'll use my thin double-sided tape. I find double-sided tape works the best on acetate anyway. So I'm just using a thin one. This is just a 3mm or an 1/8 of an inch. Depending on the size of your frame will depend on the size of the tape that you need. Straight down. Oh, wind's picked up here. I can hear it whistling around the front door and into the front porch. All right. Give them a good push. Like so. Adhere that onto your acetate. We know that this is the same size as my acetate, so I'll just measure up each side. And there's your little acetate frame. Okay, so again, same thing, using double-sided tape. Look, I've tried numerous glues with my acetate, from my fabric glues to my normal PVA glues, and I find that they're not great. They want to come off, or I found my fabric glue wanted to squelch in and leave glue everywhere. So I just reverted straight back to double-sided tape. Oops, I don't want it on one side, do I? Just want it there. Think about it, Kylie. And I've gone sideways, not topways. What I wanted was the top. Look at that. Peel that off, peel that off. Look at that. Right, so I do want to go down the side. I want a top loading one. There. That's better. Right. I'm just sitting that straight on my grid so that my eyes will go straight. That's going to go somewhere in the middle. Like that. Now, with my other one, I've got stitching around it, okay? As though they're sewn on like a wallet. All that I've done is got brown pen and stitched like so. You might need a darker pen for this paper, but that's all I've done with all of my other one, because as I said, I didn't want to keep going backwards and forwards to the sewing machine, but there is no reason why you couldn't sew these on. So now I want some little bits in here. So I've got all these bits left over, and that's what I'll do with all these. I like some of this, so I will use some of these in them as well. And all I want, I'll just trim off a couple of sizes to make my card holders. Right. So that'll go up there. That'll go in there, and then I'll do one more down there. I like that bit on the bottom. Okay. So size-wise, I want those to be round about 3 inches, a bit over. I'm just going to tuck them all in together. Pop them all in. A little bit over 3 inches. Like so. Okay, so I've got 3. They don't all have to be the same size, as in height-wise. That one I know I want on the bottom, because I like that. Okay. Trim him down just a tad so it shows a little bit more of the other one. All right. Just so that they stand out a little bit further, because this is a darker paper. I was going to say fabric. It's not a darker fabric. You could do them with fabric. It is a darker paper. All right. So with my glue, going with my top one first. Only 3 sides because we're making each one into a pocket. So I'm just evening it up side and side for that. You could measure each and every one of them so that they're all exactly the same. That's up to you. For me, I just tend to whack them down. And that one. Line them up. Stick them down. And that one, I like that really grungy look on the bottom. So down. All right, last one for this bit. You're going to go down there. So I've got that same even bit top and bottom. See, those bits I worry about, just not what the rest of it is. Don't ask me. I am just what I am. How easy was that? Now that is going to go in here. And for quickness, we'll just chuck on some double-sided tape. How's that? Oh. Then this is what I get for not chopping it. Let's chop it and be done with. And done. That one. And that one. All right. I think it's about time I did a rubbish run again by the look of it. That's the only problem with double-sided tape. You do end up with a lot of leftover bits. Right, now that one, we're going that way. There's our pocket. Setting that up. Now you can centre that or drop it down lower. It's up to you. How's that? See what I mean by about how easy they are? Drop that one. Start taking out some of these. Right. Look at that. This one's all going to have our bits and bobs in it. That one's our pocket. That'll have our bits and bobs. And we've got a pocket in here as well. And these are just so easy. So we'll do a few big ones on here. And I can just trim those ones down. I really like that section at the bottom actually. So let's have a look. I like that. And I can trim that off there. And a narrow one. Let's just give this one 2, shall we? Like that. You can give it as many or as little pockets as you like, I suppose, can't you? Trim that one off at the same height, length, you know what I mean? Like so. Ugh. I've been over an hour, sorry girls. We'll see how we go. One. Two. Right. We'll adhere these ones in. So again, we want pockets. Oh. So 3 sides only. This glue's going to give out. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Not very straight, but it is a wide pocket anyway. So that's my top pocket. Like so. And then I'll have a narrow pocket, that's my top section. Down. But you get the gist now anyway. You can see how easy it is. Drop you down there. Look at that. Simple as that. Okay, so you've got your card holders there. This one is just card holders here. We'll do a couple of those and then we'll stop. You get the idea. The basic shape is made. You've got a pocket in here. You could put something on that one as well. What do I want? I want some of these. So I will cut that at about that length, about that width. Go straight over to my trimmer. That's the width that I want. And I cut them around about that. That'll give me 4 and we can start to pop. See, I like these. All right, we'll start to pop these ones down. And then we better finish because I've well and truly hit my hour. So one, start at your top. You can work out all your measurements if you want to have them evenly spaced. But you know me, no even. If you want to ink them prior to putting them on. If you want to sew round them, you could sew round them with your machine prior to putting them on. And then you'll get that look as well. See, because you lose where they are if they're not inked. See what I mean? Whereas, and I'll just do this one just to show you, and we'll sit. So I'll just do the top, like so. And now I will adhere this one on, and you'll see what I mean with it. So down. Whoops. Now I'll adhere this one on. I'm just going like so. So see how you can now see where that is. Whereas that one you lose completely. So I'm going to want one more of those. And they're about that width. Trim that off. Whoops. Right. Put that one in there. And then we've got that side done. And all it is just repeating the other side of that pocket. Put that a little bit lower. Oh, I didn't cut him very good, did I? And then we've got this one. Just quickly, because he is the last one. And I start to get little heart palpitations if I don't ink for too long. Right. See, and I tried to do this quicker. Sorry. Sorry. All right, sit you there. And there. Really, it is very easy, and I'm sure you'll be able to continue from that because you've only got that one to go. And there is your wallet. They're just so easy. They are so easy. So you can see how the actual making of the wallet doesn't take long. It's just then the decorating and working out where you want each of your little pockets. You'll pop some pockets down there. You've got a couple. You could put 2 or 3 in there. You've got a pocket down here. If we pull out the main one again, I've done a little pocket up here as well, and I've just used a Witchcraft Do You Do stamp. Love this little address stamp. So I've just used that on there. Just an old photo, just bits and pieces from Tim Holt's field notes. There's ticket stubs. There's just bits of scrapbook paper that I had that I've cut in. As I said before, there's little invoices, more tickets, calendar. What else have I got in these things? All sorts of bits and pieces. I see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets in that one. You know, just little bits and pieces to make journal cards with. I've gone round with my pen and stitched each and every one of these. As I said before, if you wanted to, you could stitch them on your sewing machine prior to putting them down. Another little pocket in there. Even with all that stuff in there, it's still narrow enough to go into a journal. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you get a lot of fun out of it. I love doing it. It was just, yeah, wonderful. And yes, I really need to check my tension on my sewing machine, obviously. So thank you for watching today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all enjoying this. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.